Imagine walking outside at noon and the sky goes pitch black. No warning, no countdown. The sun is just gone. What happens next will terrify you. Scientists have actually modeled this exact scenario, and what they found is a chain reaction that affects every living thing on Earth, starting just 8 minutes after the sun vanishes. From frozen oceans to orbital drift to mass panic, we're going through everything, second by second, hour by hour. Buckle up. This one gets dark. Here's the first wild fact. The sun is 93 million miles away. Light from the sun takes exactly 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth, so the moment the sun disappears, you wouldn't know. You'd still see a bright blue sky, birds still singing, people still going about their day. For 8 full minutes, everything looks completely normal. Then, at the exact 8-minute mark, total darkness. Not sunset darkness, not cloudy darkness, complete, absolute, zero light darkness. At noon. In less than a second, the sky goes from full daylight to a void. Stars appear instantly, scattered across a sky that hasn't looked like this since before electricity. And the moon, also gone dark, because the moon doesn't produce its own light, it only reflects sunlight. No sun, no moon, you are standing in the deepest darkness most humans have ever experienced. Everything Earth has is powered by the sun, including heat. And without it, the temperature drop begins immediately. Within the first 2 hours, surface temperatures start falling fast. Near the equator, the warmest place on Earth, temperatures would drop to -17 degrees. That's 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Freezing point, by hour 6, we're looking at -40 degrees C across most of the planet. By the full 24 hours, some inland regions hit -73 degrees. That is colder than the coldest temperature ever recorded in Antarctica. But here's the thing, the oceans are Earth's heat battery. Seawater holds enormous amounts of energy, releasing it slowly. Coastal cities would cool far more slowly than inland areas. If you're in New York, you have a slight advantage over someone in Kansas. Slight. The key word is slight, because even slower cooling means devastating cold by morning. Plants run on sunlight. No light, no photosynthesis. Simple as that. The moment the sun disappears, every plant on Earth stops producing energy. Now, a healthy tree can survive a few days of darkness. Its stored energy carries it through. But here's what most people miss. Most of Earth's oxygen doesn't come from trees. It comes from phytoplankton, microscopic organisms floating in the ocean, invisible to the naked eye, responsible for over half of all the oxygen on this planet. And they also need sunlight. In 4 hours, the effect is still small, oxygen levels don't collapse. But the process has stopped. And if this darkness lasted even a week, we wouldn't just lose plants. We'd lose the very engine that keeps our air breathable. The 24-hour window is the only thing standing between us and catastrophe. Animals are hardwired to the light cycle. And when it breaks, the confusion is immediate. Birds would stop mid-flight, unable to navigate. Migrating species that use the sun as a compass would scatter. Honeybees which communicate using the angle of sunlight, would go silent. But here's the twist. Nocturnal animals would thrive. Owls, bats, deep-sea creatures, they're built for this. For 24 hours, they own the world. Meanwhile, out in the ocean, coral reefs begin suffering almost immediately. Coral gets its energy from tiny algae living inside its tissue. Remove the sunlight, and those algae die. Within hours, coral bleaching would begin on a massive scale. Even one day is enough to trigger stress events that take years to recover from. The ocean is more vulnerable than we think. Let's be honest. A global blackout at noon with no explanation would trigger instant worldwide panic. Governments would declare states of emergency within minutes. Social media would explode, then crash from overload. But here's the psychological truth scientists actually study. Humans are more afraid of the unknown than the dark itself. The question, is the sun coming back, would paralyze entire societies. Financial markets would freeze. Flights would ground. Solar-powered electricity, about 5% of global supply, would cut out instantly. Not enough to collapse the grid, but enough to strain it. Hospitals on backup generators, data centers running hot. fuel prices spiking to record highs within the first hour, people flooding stores, clearing shelves of candles, food, blankets. And yet, most survival experts agree, 24 hours is survivable. Terrifying, yes, but survivable. The human species has been through ice ages. We adapt fast. Here's one that surprises people. The sun is the engine behind Earth's entire weather system. It heats the equator more than the poles, creating pressure differences that drive wind, storms, ocean currents, everything. Remove the sun and the first thing that happens is a brief calm. The pressure systems that drive storms begin to collapse. Some regions actually see their wind slow down, but that calm doesn't last. As the temperature drops unevenly across the globe, land cooling faster than oceans, poles cooling differently than the equator, new chaotic pressure systems start forming. Super cold air from the upper atmosphere begins sinking rapidly, creating violent downdrafts unlike anything in the meteorological record. And the Gulf Stream, the ocean current that keeps Western Europe 5 to 10 degrees warmer than it should be, begins to stall. What you'd get isn't a hurricane, it's something meteorologists have never modeled. A cold-driven chaos storm. No name for it yet. And now, the fact that will genuinely keep you up at night. The sun doesn't just give us light and warmth, it holds us in orbit. The gravitational pull of the sun is what keeps Earth circling it at exactly 93 million miles. The perfect distance for liquid water and life. Remove that gravitational anchor and Earth stops curving. We keep moving, but in a straight line, not a circle. Our orbital momentum carries us forward, but there's nothing pulling us back. In 24 hours, the displacement is small, about 2.6 million kilometers off course. Tiny on a cosmic scale. But here's the terrifying part. Every second that passes, we drift further from where the sun used to be. There is no autocorrect. There is no way back without the sun. This is the one scenario where the 24-hour limit isn't just scary. It's the only thing that makes the story end well. At exactly the 24-hour mark, the sun comes back. And the moment it does, something beautiful happens. Dawn breaks over a planet covered in ice and silence. Golden light hits the frozen oceans, bouncing off crystal surfaces that didn't exist 24 hours ago. The temperature begins recovering almost immediately. The sun's energy is that powerful. Within days, most regions stabilize. Plants resume photosynthesis within minutes of first light. Animals reorient. Humans come outside, blinking in the brightness. And for one brief moment, 8 billion people look up at the same sky and feel the same thing. Gratitude. The world would never be exactly the same, but it would survive, because life on Earth is impossibly, stubbornly resilient, and so are we. So the next time you step outside and feel that warmth on your face, remember this. That light is 8 minutes old. It traveled 93 million miles to reach you, and it has done that every single day for 4.6 billion years without stopping. Which part of this scenario surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. I want to know. If you want more what-if scenarios that will change how you see the world, hit subscribe right now. We post new ones every week. And check out this video next. What happens if the moon disappears? It's even wilder than this one.